Have you ever asked yourself, am I actually in love or do I really just like this person? Maybe you feel a strong connection. You think about them often. You enjoy being around them, but at the same time, there's a question in the back of your mind. Is this real love or just attraction, comfort, or attachment? This is one of the most common questions people have in relationships because love isn't always as obvious as we expect it to be. It doesn't always arrive as a dramatic feeling. It doesn't always feel intense or overwhelming, and sometimes it doesn't look like anything we imagine. So how do you actually know? Let's break it down. One of the biggest misconceptions about love is that it's purely a feeling. That when you're in love, you'll know because it feels intense, exciting, or consuming. But the truth is, feelings can be misleading. Attraction can feel intense. Infatuation can feel addictive. Chemistry can feel powerful. But none of those things on their own guarantee that what you're experiencing is love. Because love isn't just something you feel. It's something you build, choose, and sustain over time. So instead of asking, what does love feel like? A better question might be, what does love look like in action? Because real love shows up in patterns, not just moments. One of the clearest signs you're in love is consistency. Not the kind that feels forced, but the kind that feels natural. You want to show up for this person. You make space for them in your life, and they do the same for you. It's not based on mood or convenience. It's steady. Another sign is emotional safety. You feel like you can be yourself around them without constantly filtering your thoughts or worrying about how you'll be perceived. You can express your feelings honestly. You can disagree without fear of losing a connection. And you don't feel like you're walking on eggshells just to keep things going. That sense of safety is often a stronger indicator of love than intensity. Because intensity can come and go, but safety allows love to grow. Another important element is genuine care. Not just liking how someone makes you feel, but caring about their well-being, their growth, their happiness, even in ways that don't directly benefit you. You find yourself thinking about what's good for them, not just what feels good for you. And that shift from self-focused emotion to shared consideration is a key part of real love. There's also acceptance. You see this person clearly, not just their strengths, but their flaws, their habits, their imperfections, the parts of them that aren't ideal. And instead of trying to change them into who you want them to be, you accept them for who they are. That doesn't mean you ignore unhealthy behavior, but it does mean you're not building the relationship around a fantasy version of them. You're relating to the real person in front of you. And that leads to another important point. Love is grounded in reality, not imagination. If your feelings are mostly based on who someone could become or what their relationship might be someday, that's not love. That's potential. Love exists in the present, in how someone shows up, and how you connect, and how you treat each other consistently over time. Another sign of love is growth, not just personal growth, but relational growth. You're learning how to communicate better, how to navigate conflict, how to understand each other on a deeper level, and you're willing to do that work because the relationship matters to you. But here's where things can get complicated. Sometimes people confuse emotional intensity with love. They think that if it doesn't feel overwhelming or all-consuming, it must not be real. But often, the healthiest love doesn't feel chaotic. It doesn't keep you guessing. It doesn't pull you into constant highs and lows. It feels grounded, stable, calm. And for some people, that calmness can feel unfamiliar, especially if they're used to relationships that were unpredictable or emotionally intense. So they question it. They wonder if something is missing. But what might actually be missing is anxiety. And that's not a bad thing, because real love doesn't require you to feel uncertain in order to feel connected. So if you're trying to figure out whether you're in love, here's something to reflect on. Are your feelings based on how this person consistently shows up in your life? Or are they based on moments, potential, and emotional highs? Because love isn't proven in a single moment. It's revealed through patterns over time. So what can you actually do with this? First, slow down. You don't need to label everything immediately. Give yourself time to observe the relationship. Pay attention to how it feels, not just on the best days, but on normal ones. Second, look for alignment. Do your values match? Do your goals make sense together? Do you communicate in ways that build understanding instead of confusion? These are the signs that sustain love, not just the initial connection. Third, check in with yourself honestly. Do you feel secure, or are you constantly unsure? Do you feel accepted, or are you trying to be someone else to maintain the relationship? Your internal experience will tell you a lot about how you're actually feeling. And finally, understand this. Love isn't just about finding the right person. It's about being in a dynamic where both people are choosing each other consistently with awareness and intention. So here's your challenge. Instead of asking yourself, am I in love? Start asking, is this connection built on consistency, safety, and reality? Because when those things are present, love isn't something you have to chase or question constantly. It becomes something you recognize through experience. I'm Phoenix, and if this episode resonated with you, share it with others on social media who might need to hear it. Mind and Motive Podcast. Change the way you love. See you next time.